had always believed that love meant sacrifice. That belief was put to the test when my mother collapsed one evening, clutching her chest, her face pale and drenched in sweat. The doctors at the hospital wasted no time in diagnosing her. She needed heart surgery. Immediately. I was a school teacher, barely making ends meet. My salary was just enough to pay the bills and buy groceries. The cost of the surgery was staggering, a number so large it seemed impossible. I begged the hospital to give me time, but they only gave me deadlines. If I couldn't pay, they wouldn't operate. Desperate, I went to the only person I thought might help, my principal. Mr. Sharma was a man I had always found unsettling. There was something in his eyes, a cruel amusement whenever he spoke to me, but I had no choice. With shaking hands, I explained my mother's situation, pleaded for a loan, an advance, anything. He listened, nodding, his fingers tapping slowly against his desk. Then he leaned forward, a smirk curling his lips. "There is a way," he said, voice low and deliberate. "Spend a night with me, and the money is yours." His words felt like a slap, knocking the breath from my lungs. I wanted to scream, to run, to throw something at him, but all I could think about was my mother lying in that hospital bed, her breath weak, her heart failing. I hated myself even as I agreed. That night, I shut my eyes, numbing myself to everything. I let go of my dignity, my self-respect, trading it for a chance to save the only person I had in this world. The next morning, I held a bundle of cash in my trembling hands, feeling filthier than I ever had in my life. I rushed to the hospital, barely able to look at myself in the glass doors as I entered. I paid the amount in full, begging the doctors to save her. Hours passed in suffocating silence as I waited outside the operating room. I kept telling myself that it was worth it, that nothing else mattered as long as she lived. Then the doors swung open. A doctor stepped out, his face unreadable. "I'm sorry," he said. My knees buckled. "No," I whispered, shaking my head violently. "You're lying. You're lying." But he wasn't. My mother was gone. The world around me blurred as I crumpled to the floor. I had sold my soul, defiled myself, for a hope that had died on the operating table. The money I had fought so hard for no longer mattered. Nothing did.